right here. You can see he gets the grip, but the pivot has already begun. You can see him raise his right elbow. Remember, that's gonna make the grip stronger. It's also gonna weaken his opponent's grip. Big pivot with the hips. That's where the power comes from. Boom. As Sidakov throws that arm by, he's often gonna reach for the opponent's far hip. So sometimes it'll be the opponent's far lat, sometimes it'll be the opponent's far hip, but he's reaching across in either scenario to control. And he gets the finish here. So again, as soon as he feels that inside tie, he gets the crowbar. Watch Sidakov's feet. Uses those feet to assist in the pivot. Goes from head on to parallel here. You can see the opponent's already falling. His elbow's trapped across his body. Really, really nice finish.
Hello.
Mike, he's just feeling the exhaustion.
Toast.
Oh man.
Toasted.
What a training session. Okay, teach me grappling.
He's great.
We've got Eddie Diaz here. Guys, here's what we're gonna do today. First, I wanna pump up a channel that I just recently started watching. I know I talked about Icy Mike with Hard to Hurt. This time today, I want to talk about a guy, I don't even know his name. I have not contacted him. He's not paying me or giving me anything. Guys, I just want to compliment and promote DPS Breakdowns, I believe is the name. He just dropped a video on the Slide By study. He does these great videos, kind of similar to BJJ Scout. I'm sure you guys have seen that. If you guys have not checked out DPS Breakdowns, I recommend you go to his channel and subscribe to his channel and watch his stuff. He's doing some great things. And what I just saw was his study on the Slide By Sidakov, so from Russia. So this guy's Slide By is like nobody else's. It's pretty awesome. And so I watched the video. I had already seen him. I watched him beat Jordan Burroughs and win the world championships. So I was already very familiar with him and I knew he had this move. But due to DPS Breakdowns doing an outstanding video a few days ago, due to that, I was able to study it more and get better myself, because I also show this move quite a bit. But here's the thing, I wanted to outline a few details that he does that is very different. I want to talk about the differences. I want to try to complement what DPS Breakdowns did on the Slide By study, where you get to see all the highlights. So guys, go check out his video. Watch his video first. Pause this, go watch his video, check it out, it's incredible. And then I want to show you guys the little details that I saw that I want to give you guys, and that way you can see me teach it, and maybe you can get something more than just watching the live footage. But for sure, watching him do it is like nothing else. So guys, when people normally do this Slide By, typically it's collar tie. So he has a collar tie, I have a collar tie, and we get into the standard position, you know. His head's here, my head's here. Maybe we're forehead to forehead, or maybe my head's here. This is the common position. You know, I'll take an elbow control. It's also very common to be said that double collar tie by each guy is kind of a fruitless position. Coaches always say, get out of that tie up, get out of that tie up. You got nothing, you know, other than maybe like a little snap to a headlock. There's not a whole lot of moves from here. Because if I hold his elbow and he holds my elbow, we tend to get stuck. We tend to get stuck where I can't drop my hand so I can say, take a high crotch. I would have to snap him real hard. If he was holding my elbow, I'd have to snap that off and then create that opening for the shot. So this position is frowned upon by a lot of coaches, but this position, especially in recent years, you know, it's becoming very popular for the Slide By. What DPS Breakdowns called the crowbar tie-up, the crowbar grip, going inside here, and then my elbow comes high and then I hook. Usually what I show is I've got a little bit of energy. I'm pressuring down on his arm, and then what I'm gonna do is I like to move my feet, and I hit that Slide By. As you do that, you keep the collar tie. Your left hand that pulled the arm and slid it by is going to come around, and I'm going to catch some control. either around the hip or maybe the arm, or get to a body lock, and then you bring the guy down. You may drag him to the floor like you're gonna see on the Sidakov's technique. You're gonna see him hit the technique and then pull the guy down. So that's a good way to do it. Now, here's the thing. That's how most people do it. The standard. It's obviously there's a little variation here or there, but what you're gonna see that he does different than everybody else is he's got a little system, and I wanna break it down. Here we go. So when he does a collar tie, he goes to this position, what we call, I call the club dig position. So it's a collar tie, which is the club. That means you're clubbing the guy's head, and then the dig is this underhook. But the thing that he does is he purposely places his head on the side of his collar tie. He places his head over here. See that? And when he does that, he's digging his arm for an underhook, like this. But it's not here, which is normal. This is common position. Here's why. From here, I can pull the guy, hit the throw by. You got your throw bys. You can bury your head in the pocket here, which is really common. Pulsing my head here, changing levels in high crotch. Okay, so those are all good things to do out of this club dig. But when he does his club dig, he clubs and places his head on this side and then digs. He's constantly throwing this arm up in here. And what that does is it makes this guy block it. So when he blocks it, he's trying to go there. This guy doesn't want his elbow out. So he keeps his elbow in and he takes the hook grip here. And then, so as he's trying to get it there, he just lets go. He doesn't care about the underhook. He lets go and goes here. So he does his slide bys the majority of the time off the inside tie, which is not typical. This is very different than what most guys are doing. Most guys are doing it off the collar, and then they're sliding by that way. He's not doing that. He's placing his head here as he digs. Okay, you see, I might even dig for a second, and the guy wants to limp arm out. Then the hand comes in, and the other big point of interest that I want you guys to focus on is his feet. He doesn't necessarily get out of the way to hit the slide by, to get it. He doesn't do that. He does a little bit, but it's the shifting of weight. He shifts weight a little bit. As he lifts this leg up, it looks more like a throw by. Okay, it's here, it's the throw by, and he's more or less square. Okay, so when I'm here, placing my head on this side, okay, the guy takes as he's here, maybe I have my elbow in, and so you go inside tie, make that hook grip, boom. He comes here, and then now out of the square position, he's gonna shift weight and lift his leg and pivot, okay? At the same time, he's pulling, there is a slight distance. He's not gonna drive his head in here the whole time. His head's gonna come out just a tad, and then he's gonna go ahead and rotate. And when he rotates, you're gonna see a lot of collisions of the rib cage to the rib cage here. Because again, it's not like he's using a ton of his opponent's energy against him. It's not like he's getting out of the way, he's sliding him and throwing him by. He is doing that, but it's more about the power he creates. He's not just sliding it by, he's creating a lot of power and he's yanking these guys. That's why there's so many top level wrestlers that are having trouble stopping this. He's creating power that most guys are not able to. So, and I think a lot of it's due to where his head is and also his foot position in the way that he drives off his legs and hits this. So again, if you guys are in the standard collar tie position here, go ahead and just watch what this does. He's on my collar. Once I kind of maneuver my head over to this side, his collar tie doesn't work so well. You see? It doesn't work so well. Since his head's on this side, he wants to go here. And then now I've convinced him to go to the inside tie. I take my hook grip, or what he calls the crowbar grip, what DPS Breakdowns calls the crowbar grip. And then now, out of this position, throw. And you see now all that pressure, now I can bring the guy down and bring him to the mat. So it's pretty amazing to watch it. So go, really guys, please, if you haven't done it already, go to DPS Breakdowns, subscribe to his channel, give him a thumbs up. That guy's awesome. He's doing some good stuff. I believe he's also on Patreon as well, so help him out. And watch that Sidakov Slide By study video that he just put out. It's a great video. It needs a lot more views. It's a wealth of information just studying that move itself. And then the cool thing is, guys, we can start creating a game out of this collar tie in this club dig position where we have our head on the same side as our collar tie. So if I'm in my stance right here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the collar tie. Notice I have my left foot in front slightly so that I reach with my rear hand. As I reach with my rear hand, I right away, I put my head on this side, okay, the side of my collar tie. And then my left hand that's in, I can either go straight to my grip or I can start punching an underhook and play here.
Yeah.
See this setup? See, now I've got techniques, guys. I can pull this guy in a circle and take a knee pick, okay? I can change levels and then shoot across, okay? I've got moves out of this position, and a lot of guys are not gonna be real familiar. Everybody's familiar with the standard collar and elbow, collar and inside. This is where a lot of wrestling takes place, and not just wrestling, jiu-jitsu as well. This is where a lot of gripping takes place, here, okay? Instead, put your head on this side. Now that I put my head on this side and I've got that wrist, you see how he's breaking out? And now he wants some control. Take the grip and just bring him right by. Just like that, okay? So I hope you guys learned something from this video. Again, the video he did is probably, I would say 90%, but what I wanted to do was I really wanted to talk about the differences that he does, the way he places his head, the position of his feet. Go back and watch the video if you already saw it even, and then watch it with fresh eyes and think about what I'm trying to say. It's mostly off of the guy's inside. It's also once he goes for the club dig, once he goes for the underhook, the guy wants to get his elbow back in and then he goes straight to it. It's almost, that's his best setup. Dig, he digs for underhook, then he just takes his hand, comes right back out and makes the hook grip or the crowbar grip. Okay, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Eddie.
Sweet.
We're practicing it. We're out here trying to get better at ourselves, just like everybody else, just like you. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
That's my favorite thing right now.
Yeah, baby.
Serious,
Dude, I'm telling you.
Throwing it.
You hit it on me today.
So it's a lot of
That's great.
practice. A ton of practice.